topic for today is how to give up what you've lost and hold on to what you have. Or maybe it's how to hold on to what you have and let go of what you've lost. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, whatever comes first. That's exactly right. What do you think that means? What do you think that means? How to hold on to what you have and let go of what you've lost. Live for today. Thanks, Rita. You know, that's my number one message. Live in the moment. Live in the day. Celebrate the reality of the day, because we all know that Parkinson's disease is what? Chronic progressive, right? Yeah. It keeps moving, it keeps changing, it tries to get ahead of us, and heaven knows we all know it continues to try to take things away from you. So truth be told, that living with Parkinson's disease for both patient and caregiver is really living with a lot of losses, is it not? How many of you like to have things taken away from you? I hate it, don't you? What are some of the things that you lost along the way?
Driving.
Driving, number one answer. Those car keys, come on. What else?
Independence.
The independence. You know, we're all groomed in the American way to be independent and to be self-starting overachievers and to do everything well and do everything by ourselves. Am I right?
Right.
And the loss of independence, and why do you think you're losing some of your independence? Why are you less independent with Parkinson's? This all goes back to understanding what this disease does to you physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. What does it do to you that robs you of your independence?
All those things.
You just can't do it anymore.
You just can't do it anymore. You know, you're living with these very difficult pain in the neck, motor symptoms. You know, the tremor keeps you from a simple thing like buttoning your buttons and tying in your shoes. Am I right?
Right.
All right. Most little ones are doing it by the age of 3. Well, all of a sudden, not because you don't want to do it, not because you're not empowered to do it, but because you don't have the dexterity in your hands anymore to do it. You know, the inability, you know, to sit up straight, to feel strong. You're tired. You're weak, right?
Right.
Your balance is off. You're rigid, even better.
Mobility.
All right? So you don't have the ability to do the basic, sometimes activities of daily living, things that so many people take for granted. Do we not? You take for granted what you can do easily, and you really don't miss it until you're not able to do it anymore. But the loss of not being able to be functionally independent and the need to ask for help from others is huge, is it not?
Yes.
It's huge. It's a loss. The car keys come along with the ride. All right? And don't get me going with the car keys. All right? You know how I feel about it? You know, and I personally feel that if you have the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, you know, the poor reflexes, the slow movements, the loss of depth perception, the tremor, the rigidity, why in the world would you be driving? Time for the chauffeur. Time to be safe. It's a loss. It's a lifestyle, the independence, the impulsivity of getting in the car and driving. And it hurts when somebody says you're not safe to drive anymore. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Loss hurts. Anybody want to disagree with that? And it really can make you frustrated and angry and kick in all the negative things. What else have you lost?
Mobility.
Your mobility, the ability to jump out of bed and run to the bathroom,
All right.
jump in and out of the car, run up and down the ladder, right?
Just jump.
Just jump. Just jump. Joyce always simplifies everything for me. Some of you can't jump anymore. Who cares? You know, you can live a great life without jumping around, right? Easter Bunny's coming. What else have you lost?
Balance.
You lost your balance. Why have you lost your balance? Your muscles are weak, your muscles are stiff. And the other thing that you have to understand is when you have a change in your posture, and which way do you want to lean? You want to lean forward, don't you? With Parkinson's. If you're going to fall, you're going to fall back easier than when you fall forward. But every time that you rechange your posture, it changes your center of gravity, right? So you are very prone to falls, and we all know how bad falls are for you. Okay? Uh-huh.
Have a lot of control over what kind of day you're gonna have. Medication doesn't order that every day.
Loss of control over what kind of a day you're going to have today. Such a simple thing for someone that's living without Parkinson's disease is you get up, right, with your day timer or your phone, and you figure, this is what I'm going to do today. Bada bing, bada boom, and off we go. But sometimes with Parkinson's disease, the drugs don't work as good today as they did yesterday. Am I right? So you can wake up with a mind full of good intentions. You know, I'm pushing you so hard to stay motivated and to stay engaged. So you can say, Mara, I'm motivated, I want to do it. My body won't let me do it today, right? And that's a loss of control of your agenda. That's a loss of control of the anticipation and the joy of looking forward to doing something. So how do you say to yourself, well, I can't do it today, whatever. How do you keep yourself positive? How do you keep yourself positive and empowered and motivated with this disease? Find something you can do and do it. Right? Is that easy?
No.
Not always, but not hardly at all. You know, if you had your life loving something, a hobby or something that you do and you're good at it, a sport or whatever, you're good at it, you love it, makes you feel good, all right? Keeps you happy and healthy. And now all of a sudden you can't do it anymore.
No, like golf.
Like golf, like whatever. I know I got a bunch of golfers out there. What else? Huh? Needlework. A lot of people work. Did you do those little needlework things where there's a trillion stitches in one picture? You know the ones I'm talking about? Maybe 2 trillion stitches. Did you do that? Lena did needlework and flowers out of beads. They're beautiful bead flowers. And can you do it at all? You can't do it anymore. There's something she was gifted to do. It was her craft. I don't think there's anything more wonderful than something handmade. Don't you agree? There's just something special that somebody made you something. You know, time and vision and
Well, it's that creativity you have to have. I mean, if you're born with that need, and you are a creative person, you cut that off, and you're cutting off the person's life.
Right. If you're a visionary, if you're a creative person, you know, and you can't be creative anymore. I know what you're talking about. You know, Joyce is the artist. This is all of her work, all around.
I still do my art.
And Joyce, even though she can't do the same mediums and the same techniques that she did when she did all these fabulous pieces, she's found you're still painting.
Yes,
she's still showing.
Yes,
all right.
and
She modified.
I'm in a nice show right now at Turpin Springs.
Tarpon Springs.
Tarpon Springs. It's the Florida Artists Group, and there's symposium, and they have one every year, someplace different in the state, in another museum. And this one is in the Lipa Ratner Museum,
Nice.
and the work is being shown right now for this whole month of April. If anybody wants to look at it on the computer, just look it up, and there's a nice show that's displayed at that museum right now. And I do have a piece in there, which is,
And then this is Joyce, her passion is her art. She can't do, I know Joyce, a lot of her work, she said she would sit there outside or wherever she was and sit there until the piece was done. I can't even imagine, you know. And now Joyce paints when she can, she's still engaged. And like she said, she loses that part of her, and that's her life for people that are real creative. So the idea is find something that you can do.
well, I really found a way to beat that. I don't feel a loss anymore. I can do my art. And
Right.
I took some digital art classes over at the VOTEC in Sarasota and learned how to use the computer. And so I've been able to really duplicate what I did before. I work a little differently, but that's all right. I can adjust to different mediums, and I always tried a lot of different mediums to work in.
Right.
So.
But you hear the will, you have to have the will to say, okay, I can't do this, but I can do this. And you know, it's the amazing thing about challenges in life. You know, you might have another passion or another gift or something wonderful about you that you never would know or experience if you weren't forced into it. Am I right?
Right.
You know, and guess what? A lot of it is the normal aging process. Everything gets blamed on Parkinson's disease, but a lot of things we used to do in our younger glory days, we're not doing so much anymore, all right? And then you compound that with the Parkinson's disease, and it really can be quite a challenge. So focus on not what I can't do anymore, but what can you do? What are you good at? What can you do? What do you need to modify in your life so that you still feel accomplished in doing things, okay?
Now, I don't care if I can't do big murals and climb on ladders, which I did at one time. It doesn't matter. I don't need to do that.
Right. Okay. So the need to deal with loss for the patient is one thing. What about the need to give up what you've lost for the caregiver? You know, your partners, your buddies, your care partners, you walk in the road together, you and your loved one, all right? Finding your way. You know that there's no roadmap to this. I wish I could create one, but I can't. And you can't cookie cut what's coming tomorrow because we don't know about that either. Please realize that there's no two Parkinson patients the same. There's no two lives the same. But what are some of the losses that a caregiver feels as you walk the Parkinson road?
Overwhelmed.
Is that what you've lost, overwhelmed?
Yeah, they lose a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I see. The caregiver loses a lot. Would you like to define that to the point that it puts you in a state of feeling overwhelmed? What does the word overwhelmed mean? How many caregivers have periods of times that you are overwhelmed? You know, and you might as well just raise your hand because, come on.
Yeah, everybody can feel overwhelmed.
You have to feel overwhelmed. And why do you feel overwhelmed?
Not enough time in the day.
Not enough time.
Things we need to do.
You're doing the work of two people.
Yeah, you're doing your life, and then you're also taking on the role and responsibility for your loved one, the things that they're not able to do on the level that they used to. Let me put it that way. So you have to learn to do twice as much in half the time. That sounds like fun to me.
But I feel very sorry for my husband, who is my caregiver, because he's working too hard, and he's already 87.
Mm.
And I can see this, is very difficult for him. So that hurts me.
There you go. All right. I always tell my caregivers, please don't think for 1 minute that your Parkinson loved one is not realizing what caring for you is doing to them. Did that come out right?
Yeah.
They might not verbalize it, they might not put it out there on the table, but they're watching that you're doing for yourself and doing for them. They're watching what we call the role reversals. Guys in the kitchen and the gals, taking over the accounting and the finances, okay? It has to happen. It has to happen. The thing is, you work as a team to get it done. But it does hurt the Parkinson patient when he looks at their the partner, the husband, the wife, the caregiver, and realizing, oh my goodness, this is really taxing on them. This is difficult for them. They are losing their quality personal time. They are losing free time. They are worried more about me than they are about themselves, right? Yeah.
It can cause emotional distress. The patient, you know, stuff like anxiety or depression.
Yeah. Emotional stress. Emotional stress. You know, I always say, you know, it doesn't matter how you are. The only thing that really matters is how you feel. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
How you think. And you look at the stressors of living with Parkinson's disease, and the list is endless. Not so much even for the day, but for the minute. The stressors that pop up, you know, whack after whack after whack, all right? So it does cause an emotional stress. What are some of the emotions associated with Parkinson's disease?
Number one, frustration.
Number one is frustration. You're stuck with something you don't want. There's nothing you can do about it. That's lovely. Frustration, what else?
Inability.
Huh?
Your inability.
Your inability. Come on, think. Depression, anxiety, anger, fatigue, fear, isolation, right? Loss of esteem, Carol.
It's not easy, but this is wonderful being here.
Thank God for Parkinson Place, right? I know, it's my magic
I
pick
feel
pill.
much greater being here than I ever did being
It
at
means a
home.
lot to us.
Yes,
Well, I'm glad you like that.
we do.
Good, I'm happy to hear that. But it's true. All, you know, I say to you, you know, if you want to live well with Parkinson's disease, you have to be positive. You have to have that Parkinson power to stand up to it and change your thinking. All right? But the bottom line is, there is nothing pretty and positive about Parkinson's disease. Is there? And when you look about all the emotions that you're throwing back at me, there's not one nice one in there. I don't want any of them. I don't hear the word happy and grateful and joyful and lucky me. Do I? So what is the key? The emotional stress is huge because it's not just living the day. It's not just getting up in the morning and saying, okay, Ma told me to be positive, so I'm going to set my disposition, which is what I want all of you to do. You know, set your disposition when you get up in the morning. Set your mind, do your mindset. That you're going to do your best, that you're going to be positive, that you're going to be gracious, okay? That you're going to be engaged, you're going to be nice, all right?
I think Carol's saying something that some of us really realized for the first time. It wasn't until we actually got here and started participating in this program here that we could actually realize a wonderful day. I mean, you know, I have a wonderful time here.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I hope you all have wonderful days, because that's what the staff and I
And
are
it's,
trying to give for you.
it's just amazing.
Thank you. But the key is when you get up in the morning, you can't even do the mindset for the day because every minute can change, right? I have to say, how you doing this minute? So between orange juice and out the front door to Parkinson Place, you can crash, right? You can go off. You cannot feel good, all right? And that's a huge loss of control. You can't control your body. You can't control your agenda. You can't control what you're able to do. What the heck are you controlling? All right? And the greatest trigger for stress is what? Who knows the answer to this? You should know it. Change. Change is the number one cause of stress. And you're changing all day long, right? There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. And that's really hard on you. I mean, what you're dealing with emotionally is really very difficult. I always encourage my caregivers, you know, to really get behind the eyes of your loved one. You know, really realize the huge challenges, physical and emotional and mental and social challenges that your loved one is living with. Because, you know, in nursing for so many years, I would, you know, teach, and I would say, well, you know what, you know, unless you really understand what that person is feeling, unless you cannot really understand what they're feeling, know what their needs are, then you can't possibly meet their needs. Am I right? Or care for them to the best of your ability. Yeah.
I think the hardest thing on the caregiver is watching the progression of the disease and knows you can't do anything to stop it or even help that much.
Well, that's your loss of control. You know, the loss of control that you love your Parkinson loved one. They are most likely the best part of you on a good day. Right? You love them to death. And it hurts. It's heartbreaking to see the disease progress and there's nothing you can do about it. What can you do about it? What can you do about it? You know,
You can.
do all you can, but you know, number one,
Make sure they get their meds,
yeah,
right dose.
yeah. You have, the caregiver, you have to get yourself in the right mindset. And for you to make a positive contribution, you can't change the disease. This is disease, it's a neurological disorder, there is no cure. All right? What you do, to the best of your ability, is to help your loved one, you know, to walk the road, to help them to accept and to tolerate, to help them to stay positive, you know, to nurture them so that they can have the strength and the motivation to live a dignified life with this disease. All right? Number one, you got to be under the care of a board-certified neurologist. Please. This is one disease that you need a movement disorder specialist. I'm sorry. It is so elusive. It's changing all the time. The meds are everything for you. All right? General neurologists are terrific. They treat all the symptoms. Almost all of them have a specialty. They're great. But if you can get yourself to a movement disorder specialist within the travel time of your home, please do it. Please do it. It's a specialty like none other. We do have Dr. Juan here. Juan Sanchez-Ramos is here every Wednesday, runs a full clinic every Wednesday. So you have to have this relationship with your physician that gets you on the meds, the right meds. Number one, you got to have the right diagnosis. You got to start there. Do you know how many people I see being treated for Parkinson's and they don't have it?
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. All right? So that definitive diagnosis is everything with a movement disorder specialist. Get on the right medications, all right? Then you live the lifestyle package for wellness, whether you have Parkinson or not. You eat right, you exercise, you sleep, you stay engaged in life. You do stress management. You work on your positive attitude. You work on your will. This is a disease that it'll run you over if you let it. And this is a disease that you do not live well with unless you're standing up. If you're on your emotional knees, and it's going to take a whack at you. You know, that's why I work so hard to keep you standing emotionally up. I don't care if you don't physically stand up, but I want you standing up in your mindset, that you're standing up to it, you're empowered, you have the will to try. Because if you get in the recliner, you're not getting out.
yeah.
And if you stop moving, you'll stop. You understand me? So your push every single day is to stay positive and to stay engaged and to hold it at that. This is where you say, I have Parkinson's, Parkinson's does not have me. It comes into your life like a dictator, and it'll take anything you let it to take. And you know, you guys say, hold it. You know, I'm going to physical therapy, I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to work on my balance. I'm going to do my exercise classes. I'm going to be social with my friends. I'm going to live my life in spite of you.
That's right.
And that's the mindset. You tell them, Carol.
Yeah.
I'm on the bandwagon all by myself up here. Right? It's all a state of mind. You know,
can't give up, that's the
you
whole.
cannot give up. You cannot give up. And it's easier to fold, isn't it? It's easier to say, oh, I really got really rotten cards. I quit. You know, I'm taking my marbles and going home. I don't like this situation.
And it won't do
I'm
any
done.
good. It wouldn't do any good to do that.
No, I won't let you
It'd be
do
the
it.
worst thing.
I won't let you do it. So you work the cards, you play the cards you've got to the best of your ability. That's it. You cannot fold in life. And you know, the only time you fail is when you stop. Did you know that? And you don't have to be total perfection. You have to understand very humbly that who you are today is just terrific. Don't lose sight of that. Who you are today is terrific. The day is exactly as the way it's supposed to be, and you are exactly the way that you are supposed to be. And you are extraordinary. You know, lots of times people living with disease and disability and challenges, physical challenges, that really change our appearance or change our function, can really change our thinking about ourselves. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I do.
You know, well, I don't look as good as this one, or I can't talk that loud, and it takes me twice as long to eat. So what? You know, you're unique, you're special, and you are just terrific the way you are. Please remember, you do not have to live up to anybody else's expectations.
That's right.
Your only responsibility is to be the best that you can be. Did I just lower the bar?
You should be clapping.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. What Kool-Aid are you on today? She's all excited today. I didn't even give you chocolate chip cookies. My peanut gallery here is wrapped up.
She said you need a copyright.
Help me save me a cookie. She always says something. All right, lower the bar. What, Pete?
One thing I've been doing recently that seems to help out is I'll get up a little early and take my meds and go back to bed. So
Oh, there
when I
you
get
go.
out, I'm working right and feeling good. Gives me a much better attitude towards the day than
There
getting
you
up
go.
and struggling for the first half hour.
Good idea. See, if you realize something's going wrong, you know, work it through, figure it out, make some changes. You know, you're in charge of your life. It's going to be as good as you make it. You know, everybody else is around here to help you, to love on you, to motivate you, to make it easy, you know. But it's really basically up to you. So if you got a problem, figure it out, realize your resources, and do something about it. That's what the word motivation means. You know, I sit up here and I motivate, tell you why, and because I want you to do it, and because it works and everything. But until I can get you to take action, which is your empowerment, I'm just up here chirping. All right? It's up to you to take action. It's up to you to take ownership in your life. It's up to you, the Parkinson patients, to do absolutely the best that you can be. You must do as much as you can for yourself. The more you do for yourself, the more under control you feel. You have a loss of control, consciously and subconsciously, because this disease of yours, you know, it's doing its own thing, right? You have a loss of control of your body, your mind, your emotions, your ability to stay independent. So you must do as much for yourself as you possibly can. You caregivers, what is your primary goal? You know, the top priority is yourself, because you can't give away what you haven't got. But what is the #1 mission of a caregiver? Now, you might not know the answer because this is the law according to me, but it's right.
Of course.
The mission of a caregiver is to maintain and promote the self-respect and dignity of your loved one.
Okay, that's a beautiful one.
You've heard it a million times before. Why are you not remembering it? It's not to do physical. It's not, It's not to take over what they used to be doing. It's with your every thought, word, and deed that you help your loved one to feel dignified with a sense of esteem. Because what do you think Parkinson's disease is doing to their sense of esteem and dignity?
Removing it.
It's removing it. It's neutralizing it. It takes a whack at you all the time. Every time you look at yourself. Every time you try to do something and fail. Every time you deal with another loss. All right? I did it yesterday. I can't do it today. Oh, gee whiz. But maybe again. But we'll do it tomorrow. All right? So with every word, thought, and deed, you're promoting them. You're encouraging them. You're motivating. Is it easier to do it yourself? Huh?
No.
It's easier and it's faster. And it's cleaner and it's everything. If you just do it and get it over with. But that's not your goal. Your goal is to motivate your Parkinson loved one to do as much possible as they can. Give them choices. Give them opportunities. Give them insight into your life. Open up the communication that they still talk to you about decisions. Not we're going on the cruise because I want to go and have fun with Marilyn and the team and we're going. Give me the visa, baby. No! Actually, that would be me. I've been known to do that in my past. You want to say, we're thinking about the cruise. What do you think about it? What do you think about the ports of call? Think about what we could do. We'll have a wonderful time. And do it merge together. Lots of times because Parkinson patients don't communicate as much or there is articulation or their words are softer, it's easier for not to speak. It's just a lot easier to keep quiet. Right? But you want to encourage that two-way avenue of conversation and mutual love and support through communication. Okay, every time I say to my caregivers, what are you doing and why are you doing it? What's the number one answer?
Love.
Love. I love them. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Doesn't make it a whole lot easier. I think loving them makes it worse.
Makes
Yeah.
you feel good.
Well, it makes you feel good, but if you love somebody that's struggling, it's a love-hate kind of thing because it hurts you to see it. All right?
Yeah.
You do it anyway. So what have you got? I'm telling you to hold on to what have you got. What have you got?
Each other.
Each other. You're gone. Really cherish that and really celebrate that. You know? Because you're very, very, very lucky to have each other if you're fortunate enough to face this day with somebody you love, whether it's husband and wife or child or friends of friends. How many of you really pay attention to what you have? If I said to you, okay, what's the 3 greatest things in your life? What do you cherish the most?
Wife and children.
Wife and children. I thought for sure you were going to shout trains and I was coming over and whoop you. I want to come over and whoop you, Richard. Wife and children. Isn't it great? And believe it or not, you have your health.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you noticed how fortunate you are that you can get up and you can get dressed and you can find your way to Parkinson Place or find your way to church or temple or, you know, special things in the community? Do you know how fortunate you are?
We're fortunate if we still have a lot of our marbles.
Yeah, if you got your marbles, you really haven't heard it called marbles. We have our marbles. There's not a goofball in the building, right? So you have a little bit of memory loss, you know. You live with that. But you have the ability to think and engage and feel for the others, okay? So you should really kind of focus on, you know, I always say if I don't have it, I don't need it. It has a way to kind of humble you, you know? If you have the love of just one person, you're blessed. If you have the love of a lot, then you're really blessed. You have a home, you know, you have food on your table. You have the ability to get up and to get out and to do the things that you want to do with the people that you love. you're blessed. So if you have to give up the car keys, if you have to give up, you know, your big house with the pool and everything else, and move into a beautiful assisted living, do it. It's quality of life. I figured I kept my big house about 20 years too long. Once I got out of it, boy, it was just great. I was in it for 31 years. Every year I taught myself, why am I doing this? You know, yard man, pool man, oh, now I'm free as a bird. And I'm like, why didn't I do this before? Okay? So make decision based on what's in your best interest. Do what you need to do and really prioritize. What's the best way to use this day? What's the best way to use this moment? All right? And do it. Pete, did you have something
Yeah, I was
else?
gonna say something. It always amazes me when I come in here for coffee in the morning how dedicated these individuals are to each other.
Oh, absolutely. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's one thing I'm so proud of Parkinson Place for, because, you know, you're like a brotherhood or a sisterhood, or I don't know what word I use. You're just like a team. You know, you're a team, and you all take care of each other, and you all know each other, and worry about each other, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like a tribe or a family, it's your Parkinson family, and that I think is probably one of the nicest assets of this place, isn't it? That you're welcome, and however you are today is just fine. Who cares? Just come anyway. Who wanted to speak down here? Richard?
It's like an extended family.
It is an extended family, isn't it? I know. As it should be. As it should be. You know, one for all for one. That's the way we run the team in here, and that's the way we run Parkinson Place. So, how has it helped you? How has Parkinson Place helped you? Might as well do a little survey, because I have about 4 minutes, because Dr. Domingo goes on in just a few minutes. Yeah.
Got me wanting to get back to life.
Yeah. It's been
Pretty
a...
low.
I know you are. I've seen a lot of people really transition physically and mentally and emotionally in here, because I really do pay attention. I really do know most of you well, and I can pretty much tell when you walk into the big room how you're doing. I can kind of read your eyes and your body language and everything. But Richard was low. He had lost his gusto for life, right?
Yep.
Until the first Christmas he put the trains on this floor, turned him into a brand new man, right, Hank? And every year we have
A little bigger.
little bigger, little better. Yeah. Hello, sweetheart. Okay, did this help you? Really celebrate the day, live in the minute, only see the good, you know. Be gracious enough to say, look how lucky I am today for all the good things I have in my life.
I'm glad I'm here.
Okay, here she's awake again. She's glad she's here. Okay? And just play the positive note and laugh and have a good time and really celebrate, okay?